What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Koala Gardens. I can't believe it is the 31st of December and we are in Australia heading very quickly into 2023. It's always a good thing to stop and take a breath at the end of the year and reflect a bit on what's happened. And as the true nerd you know I am, that means I'm thinking about a few little statistics. Here's some YouTube statistics of what you all did here during the year. So there were 51,500 total views of my videos, and just look at that watch time. We can tick that up today, 299.7 thousand. Nearly 5,000 likes and 180 new subscribers. Now just look again at those. Nearly 5,000 likes and nearly 300,000 minutes watching my videos. I haven't done the math, but 4,257 days since I uploaded the very first video. 33,000 all-time likes, nearly 10,000 comments, and 5,500 shares. I'm pretty happy with that. And it means every interaction you do here counts. I also want to take a quick moment to give a huge shout out and thanks to all of the people who throw in a bit of money to make the work I do here with koalas possible. You are all so awesome, and we have a great year coming up in 2023. And I would like to acknowledge the Widjabul Waible people of the Bundjalung Nation, on whose land I live, work and play. I'm Katrina, and I'm passionate about saving koalas. As well as my conservation work, I also partner with Friends of the Koala, and I had 4 youngsters in the kindy during 2022. Banjo, and this is Keo. I also had Scampy and Summer. It's such an honour to take a little bit of a part in helping to rehabilitate orphans back out into the wild. I also have a plantation area, and during 2022 we had nearly 100 leaf collections out of the plantation that took leaf back to the hospital at Friends of the Koala and was used to feed the koalas that are in care in at the hospital. It is such an honour to provide great quality leaf to help get those koalas back to health and back into the wild. And those leaf collectors who come are amazing. Thank you so much. Now, all of my video is free, but if you'd like to be part of the solution, one thing you can do at any time watching one of my videos is hit that super thanks button below, choose what you can afford, and pop a little bit into the bag that I use to do all of the work that I do voluntarily on my private property. Alright, I know you really want to see all of the wild koalas that were here, so let's have a little flick through memory lane, and we'll start with that gorgeous juvenile that spent a bit of time here, Arthur. He was here for 23 days. I'm going to work through in alphabetical order, and of course that means that we come next to the most amazing koala in all the world that we miss so deeply. Let's have a few of the best moments of 2022 with our boy Bullet. Do you remember this day that he walked almost right up to me and then into a tree nearby? I'll never forget this moment. Just up above, I've put a link to a playlist of all Bullet videos. So if you can't get enough of him and you want to watch him again to end off the year, go up there for a good look. This was another amazing moment where it's like, what would a koala be eating on the ground? Now, it's actually something that koalas do quite frequently, but we rarely actually see it happen. So to see a koala and capture it on film as a koala is eating dirt was just a fantastic moment that Bullet gave us. And I love how Bullet is letting us know that this road sign outside my property is indeed true. There are koalas and they do move about the landscape here. And our beautiful girl Ellie has given us the most amazing treat this year by having her first joey. This was the first time when I actually got to see that there was definitely a pouch bulge that Miss Ellie had been concealing from us, but now we knew that there was a joey to come. And Ellie also made it very clear that even a couple of months later, with an even bigger pouch bulge, strong koala mums are able to do everything they need to in the trees in all weather, even when they're nursing mums with a joey on board. And what a perfect mother Ellie has turned out to be. She's done an amazing job of raising her first ever joey, Eddie, and Eddie is starting to separate from her right now, and it's going to be wonderful watching him grow further. Look at how strong and healthy he is. And the beautiful Emma, look at that nose pattern with her gorgeous little joey, Shine. They spent 29 days here during the year, over a couple of months while she raised Shine. Just look at that little white tushy. There is just nothing like these tiny joeys when they first start back riding. And these young joeys, they grow up so fast. In just that short time, a couple of months, Shine went from a little back riding, skinny bummed thing to a confident young koala climbing in the treetops all alone to feed. Early in the year, we also saw two devastating floods in this area. One of them, the first one in the February, was unprecedented high water. The property here was cut off for 2 weeks, no power, no water, no communications. But that was nothing compared to 9 towns in our area were wiped out, and the community is still slowly rebuilding. We really have no idea how much wildlife was lost in the floods, but slowly the community is rebuilding, and we're trying to get our head around what climate change is truly doing to our beautiful planet and what we are really doing to our planet with the way we're living. Okay, back to our gorgeous koalas. We had this weird thing of Hugo lookalikes coming through the property, and this one is Hudson. I saw Hudson 27 times during 2022, and I haven't seen him again for a while. But this is what koalas do in moving through the landscapes. And that's our Hugo. Look at how strong he is climbing about in the branches. Now, Hugo actually developed chlamydial conjunctivitis during 2022, and I was able to catch him and take him into Friends of the Koala and have that treated. Here's a little bit of moment of him being released back home. And our Queen Matilda, we love her so much. She was sighted here a total of 139 days during this year. The second largest number of days, Bullet was the winner of that with 212 days of the year. She is our eating machine. Just look at her getting stuck into that swamp mahogany. She really knows how to just sit back, chill out, and eat like a koala. We still had no Joey from her this year, so we're just crossing our fingers that next year is her year. A little surprise visitor was a beautiful girl who we quickly named Mikkel. It's just as well we did that quickly because she was only seen here 7 times. So she was moving through the landscape for some reason, looking for a new place. I really do hope she comes back. Look at that face and that nose pattern. But the really exciting thing about Mikkel is that she has a young Joey in pouch. That Joey is very small, and even though I'm filming while it's lightly raining, if you watch close, you can see that pouch wriggling. And another gorgeous female with a Joey in pouch is Olivia. And what amazes me about Olivia is when I look at the stats, I only ever saw her 19 times, and yet I felt like I was really getting to know her as I watched that bulge in her pouch grow. She left just as she was papping, and I've seen her back here twice, but she has not let me catch sight of that little Joey yet. So let's hope we see more of Olivia in 2023. I get insanely excited when I see sights like this. A papping mum and a little Joey arm or leg hanging out of the pouch. This was one of the last days that I saw Olivia. Orion is one of our new fellas, and I've already had 36 sightings of him so far, and most of them are in the big trees outside my kitchen window. It's been a huge comfort for me. I usually see him 1 or 2 days, most weeks out there. He's quite a dark fella, and I think he's only young, probably a few years old, and he is really handsome, and I hope he stays around. You can see he doesn't mind the high treetops. Just look at that face. And this is the very first day that I saw Pearl with Hope out of the pouch. And you have to excuse the quality of this bit of film because I had actually left a camera filming Grace and Phoenix together and came along and found this site and took this footage with my iPhone. Look at Hope, tiny, tiny, really one of the first times out of the pouch, sitting in Pearl's lap. It's really quite amazing because when a new koala comes along, I have no idea in those first filmings if this is one of the very few times I'm ever going to see them, like Mikkel was only here for 7 days, or whether they're going to hang around. And I had absolutely no idea that Hope would turn out to give us the most delicious, cheeky, mischievous scampy Joey videos that I've had for years. They have been the biggest joy, and they've now separated, and Hope is very often on the property, and occasionally I see Pearl come by too. So there's still lots of hope for 2023. Do you remember seeing this video during the year? This was the first time that we knew for sure that Phoenix had a new Joey and pouch. So that looks very much like what I was filming with Mikkel just before, where you can see that little bulge and it's wriggling and moving about. Then she disappeared for a few months, and finally when she came back, she had a beautiful surprise for us all. Grace is the second Joey of Phoenix and the second female Joey of Phoenix, which is like insanely exciting because we desperately need more big, strong, healthy females if koalas are going to be saved from extinction. Grace separated from Phoenix a few months ago, and I have spotted her on the property by herself 58 times already. That is just beyond exciting and an absolute tribute to the conservation work that is happening here. She is already maturing into a juvenile from that little wriggling thing we saw in the pouch earlier this year. They are amazing to watch. Another new male that came onto the property is Valentine, the fella with the gorgeous nose pattern. Now I've only spotted him 21 days on the property, but to be fair, I'd only seen him less than 10 times when he began to develop conjunctivitis in one of his eyes, and so I caught him, took him into Friends of the Koala. He's been treated and is back here on the property again, and I'm seeing him quite often. And our very, very newest koala on the property is a little 2.5 to 3 kilo bundle of joy named Waddle. Now, I had a really hard time working out for a while whether Waddle was a girl or a boy because that face is so gorgeous. Anyone would have thought it was a girl, but Waddle turned out to be a stunning young fella. So far, I've seen him on the property 32 times, and I'm hoping we get to watch him develop into a strong boy. And that was 2022 at Koala Gardens. Koala Gardens is not just a home for koalas. There are up to 14 identified vulnerable species here on the property. So the conservation work I'm doing is important for a whole huge range of wildlife. And I couldn't be prouder than to be able to live here with nature. So thanks for watching. Would you stop and take a moment to write in the comments below, "So long, 2022. I promise you, I'm not stopping what I do, and I will be testing out my new camera and showing you more fantastic things in 2023. Now, if you have any reason to get a present for anybody, as well as things like koala adoptions, if you want to give a physical gift, hop over to my Redbubble site because I guarantee there is something there for everyone. Hundreds of design and item combinations.